Welcome to the latest installment of the Run to Daylight show. This is my first podcast in about a month. I finally moved into my new house, and it has been quite the ordeal. The washer that came with the house broke on day one, and the main line plumbing backed up on day three. So some things that wasn't exactly preparing for, and doing all the moving with a bad hip. Well, anyway, it's why I have not been podcasting. So I really am eager to get in, and I want to do some FFPC live drafts, but I got to kind of schedule that better. I think what I'm going to do is I've been invited to Pros versus Joes again, and I might actually record that this year and then just play it later because they do the HSBC hour during it. But the FFPC is kind of my home. You can go to myffpc.com. You can join the main event, which with a chance to win $1 million. The big gorilla, another $1 million tournament. I play a lot of the $300,000 best ball tournament. I've been lucky or blessed or good or whatever you want to call it, enough to get into the finals every year of that tournament so far. But today we're going to do a Underdog Draft, and I'm going to go over and log in. And I don't know, I'm going to have to make this bigger so you guys can see it. And I played around with the new browser from ETR, the solver. I'm going to do some shows with that. But today I'm going to, come back and just work with Spike Week's browser. I'm more familiar with it. We're going to do a Best Ball Mania draft. I just jumped in. There are 4 spots left if you want to jump in. And again, myffpc.com, you see the flashing Daylight is the code. If you've never played on there, you can get a $25 off of your first tournament, 25 off of any league. They have leagues starting at $35. So you basically can get a free league if you go to myffpc.com, log in, try and win some money. Hold on, I got to blow my nose. I'm going on vacation tomorrow down the Jersey Shore. My daughter graduated high school. Kind of interested in, all right, 3 more for the Underdog tournament. And let me get that ready. I'm going to share the whole screen. And you're not going to be able to see this unless I made it bigger. Okay, good. 1 person left. So if you want to get in and see this, let's get my beautiful face out of there so that you're able to hopefully see what I see. Now, in the past, I've always done something with the Draft Hacker this year. In fact, let me get back out and just go to active. Make sure I'm logged in. I am. All right, we're waiting. So this looks like it filled. Hopefully you guys can see this. Dash, let's see if there's anyone I know in here. I'm number 6. All right, I haven't gotten a lot of 6s. Nobody I really know in here. What I've been doing, because the information from Spike Week is up here. You could see how much my ownership is. That's the first 2, 3 and overall, 5 in this tournament. I've got 3% of Barkley, 3, 4, 5. I've got so much neighbors. So you can see I've got 23% neighbors. I don't have any Pook Bijan. I've just got enough neighbors. So you'll also notice that you've got my rank and then ADP. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are off. So I'm really liking the wide receivers because I feel like you can get really good running backs in round two, and it kind of falls off a cliff. Um, I think zero running back is definitely in play. If you guys have any comments, I will check back over here to see if there's any comments. So if you have any questions as we go along, please feel free. So all the wide receivers went boom, boom, boom. So I could either take Puka. Um, I'm not taking Bijan here, and I don't think I'll take Barkley. Barkley's gone, so that makes it easy. I would like a Gibbs share, and all right, I'm going to take Gibbs. So now you see there's 12 picks away, and because when you try and click on this, it moves around so much now. I don't know if it's because of the draft hacker. You could see me starting to do that, but it jumps around and it kind of gets on my nerves. So what I do is I go on my phone and I do it on my phone. So I am 9 picks away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Boy, I really want a wide receiver here. And then I refresh my screen. And then you'll see. And then I have to go back to ADP so you could see ADP. And there's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So really, I might not get someone I like here. And I might have to pick. Boy, I really don't. I mean, I have Taylor as the next guy, but I really don't want to start two running backs. I haven't done that pretty much all year. Oh, I'm going to get one of my wide receivers. This is really great. And you can see I don't have any. These would be highlighted in colors if I had any. But I got Lad McConkey. I have a decent amount of the likely lad. Let's see if it shows up. I wasn't on Lad last year, but you could see I have 10% overall, but none in the tourney. So this is my first. I've only done like 20 best ball manias, not for lack of trying. So I'm 9 picks away. I'll go back to my phone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should get another wide receiver that I like here. So from the 6th hole, there's kind of a drop off at wide receiver. If you look over here, let me refresh. So now you can see everyone that's in my queue. The draft hacker will pop back up, and we're going to get fireworks. No questions. And you can see I've got Evans. I really have Evans on a different tier. So this is my tier, and there really is a drop off at wide receiver here. I kind of like Breece Hall. I like Josh Allen. I like Lamar. But this DJ Moore, Ted McMillan, and Hunter, I think are a step down. So 3 picks away, I'm going to get, well, McBride's not going to make it back to me. You can see I have very little Marvin Harrison, 0 and 2, 0 and 7 on Devontae, 0 and 6 on, I mean, I would have taken McBride for the value. Devontae has a week 15 correlation. That's not really enough to make me bite. But I will. I'm gonna go with Devontae over Marvin Harrison here. 12 picks away. We'll refresh it. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7, 8, 9. So you see that there's guys that I don't have. I'm not big on James Cook this year. Worthy, I've taken Worthy. I'll put Worthy in there. And you see how it's bouncing around, which makes it harder. That's why I do it on my phone now. I don't know why that is. No questions. So we've got one quarterback, one wide receiver. I could go for a week 4-15 correlation with Jameson and Devontae, but you could see how that's highlighted. I really don't care about week 15 correlations as much, but if there's nothing else, to break a tie, I certainly will do it. I don't want to jinx it and say who I want. I don't know why it's not showing any ownership for me for Best Ball Mania. I got to check with the draft hacker as to why that's happening. You could see 11%. All of them are on 0 for some reason. All right, so I wanted Kittle. Kittle went. DJ Moore. I don't think there's any good values here at all. I'm going to take Devonta Smith simply because I might get Hurts on the way back. And there's nobody else that I really like. So we're 10 picks away, though, so that's certainly not guaranteed. And I didn't love that pick, to be honest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I really feel like, let me refresh so we can look. All right, so you see this is my rank, and then there's the ADP. I normally don't do the ranks, and I haven't updated them in a little bit. I really like looking at ADP, but I'll switch back and forth a little sometimes. Is AJ Brown in between me and that's the question. And the draft started, so 6, 5th round. Yeah, I think I might get Hurts because AJ Brown is going to come after me. But you don't know. Sometimes people take them unstacked, hope for Goddard later. Goddard's certainly late enough. There goes Pickens and Waddle and Ridley, 3 guys I really like. I don't take much Travis Hunter, or Zay Flowers, 5 and 6%, only 3%. Chuba, 17%. Kenneth Walker. I do like Mr. Walker, but this might pay off. I'm 1 pick away. Let's see if Hurts makes it to me, or if yeah, it did. So I'm on pick 54, and I get Hurts. ADP of 48 to 54. I now have a Buffalo Week 17 stack. So that worked out really good. I took a chance, and it worked out. I'm trying to get more Hurts. I put everyone I wanted and everyone I thought that would be there into the. Now you could see this filled back up. And I've got a 113 so far. So, I mean, I'm not on Joe Mixon 2%. I was on Addison, and then I just think he's going to go down with the suspension most likely coming. But I would take him because I have a correlation with Gibbs. So that would bump him up a little bit. James Conner is a guy that I like. I certainly like Henderson. But let's turn it on ADP, and you can see who's more likely to make it. Olaf went. Olaf is a guy I've been drafting a lot of, but he went, so I won't get him. And I only got 2 guys in the queue, and I'm 3 picks away, so this could get ugly. And I'm looking down my list to see who would be my next guy. All right, Connor made it to me. I really didn't need another running back there, but I don't get a lot of 6th picks, so that's just what happened. If you guys have any questions, you can ask. I'm reloading because I wanted to refill my queue. Then you have to click again on ADP. You can see I have 27% Tony Pollard, only 3% Pacheco, 10% Diggs, 3% Shakir, 3% Reed, 4% Golden. Swift just went. I really think, we're going to hit that wide receiver wall. I don't believe in 5 and 8 necessarily, but I definitely like to have 4 and 8. And the next group down, there's a couple guys I like. So we'll see. Shakir is going to make sense for the week 17 correlation. It's a good time to get a little bit of a guy who I think is overpriced, and there are later options I can get. But this is a range in the draft where I really just don't love anyone. I kind of like Pollard, and I kind of like Aaron Jones here. I get that correlation with Gibbs. I have Judy ahead of the rest of these guys. I have no correlation with Judy, but he went. So this is really a toss-up for me. I'm going to take, I take almost no Myers. Let's do it. All right, I took a Jacoby Myers. I don't love it. I didn't like anybody there, really. I like the running backs, but I already had 2. Aaron Jones probably made the most sense, but having a correlation with 2 running backs there isn't exactly great either. 11 picks away. So after getting Hurts, it kind of has started hurting a little bit. I don't love this team so far. Some guys I normally don't take as much. I like McConkey. Adams is okay. Smith is fine. Hurts is a great value, and that's always good. And take a little sinus medicine. I don't know. I don't think you guys can see me anyway right now. You don't want to see my email. No questions, huh? All right, let's keep going. Ayuk, coming off the injury, is not a guy I'm looking at. Jonnu with the trade, not looking at. His ADP is starting to drop. There you go. I haven't updated the rankings. So if Jones makes it to me or Pollard, that's a no-brainer here. Egbuka, I'm not a huge fan. I like Pittman a lot at ADP. I like Mason a lot, 23%. Shaheed's moved up. He's a guy I like. And you see how it bounces around, making it more difficult. I'm going to take Pittman. I think Mason will make it back to me. I'm going to take Pittman. So now I've got 5 wide receivers. There's a real good range of tight ends in the double-digit rounds. I could get Kincaid. I could get Goddard. I've got two good running backs. There's a lot of good zero running back guys. Pittman's a guy that was injured all last year. I think he is a really, really interesting guy this year. Good route runner. Danny Dimes might end up liking him more than Downs. We'll see. And there goes Mason. So that stunk, but that's okay. Correlating with your first rounder is nice, but it's not something you need to do. Now that I got the 5 wide receivers, I'm a little less in need of doing that. So Cup, I don't love, but I mean, we're already at pick 100. I've got him down the list, and there goes Cup. So Coleman is going to make a lot of sense. Shaheed is a guy I like a lot. Kelsey, I think his ADP has kind of gotten to the point where he's fine, even if he's slow during the regular season. I mean, it's Travis Kelsey. This is going to be an interesting one. And there goes Kelsey. There goes Kyler. So I could go Keon here. I think that's what I'll do. I like Shaheed more than Keon. Keon's moved up a decent amount. I was drafting a lot more of him at his old ADP, but now I'm at 126, and I really don't have to worry about running back for a while. I mean, wide receiver for a while. Let's refresh. So I'm 8 picks away. No questions. So you can see Hertz now has a Buffalo bring back for week 17. Not really focusing on week 17 as much this year. 1, 2. You see, I got 6 pretty good wide receivers. So, and there's late rookie, second, third tier guys who need a break that I like late. There's one running back here that you can see I've got 22% of Charbonnet with Kubiak going there. I've got 20% of Najee. 8% of Najee. Sorry, 20% with Hertz. That makes me less likely to want to take Najee here. Scatterbow, I've got 8%. Tracy, I've got 5%. I mean, this is one of those drafts where I'm taking guys that I like because I'm doing it live. There goes Tracy. Charbonnet's my favorite guy here. For a while, I was trying to get one of Walker or Charbonnet. Mims, wow, 10-4. Huh. Good luck with that. Not something I'm going to be doing. So I'd like to get my third wide running back here, and I will. And Charbonnet has a week 15 and a week 16 correlation. No week 17. But I'm going to take him and hope Herbert makes it back to me for the next round to go with McConkey, be my second quarterback. This is when you start looking. So Stafford would work. I've got Geno with the Jacoby. I'm not going to do Daniel Jones as the number 2. So if I don't get Herbert, that's one of the reasons I passed. Is there was just a lot of Kraft. All right. Did Herbert go? Not yet. 6 picks away. Caleb went. It's a little bit of a quarterback run here. No questions. And even though we're doing a underdog draft because they're easier to log into, most of my money is going to be on the FFPC tight end premium. Big fan of that. So as you can see, I really want Herbert here. Njoku would be my second choice. Kincaid disappeared. I think Goddard is there. And there goes Njoku. There goes Kraft. This guy doesn't have McConkey, and he had a quarterback tie. All right, so that worked out. So I get my second quarterback. Now it would be nice to find someone for Houston, but it's a nice to have, not a need to have. Maybe Nick Chubb. All right, so 11 picks away. Now I got to turn my attention to tight end a little bit and running back. Kincaid and Dalton and Goddard are both there. Ferguson likely. Guerrero. All right, some guys I really like have now been put into the queue. If there's anyone that you have a question about that's in the queue, I have been checking over there to see if there's questions. You could see by ADP. I mean, Goddard makes the most sense. Kincaid would be fine. I don't mind having 2 bringbacks, but Goddard would be the choice. Kincaid, not really interested in Christian Kirk. Ferguson, Tootin. Guerrero is a guy I like a lot. I didn't love him coming out, but I mean, he played well when he got the chance. McCaffrey could break down any second. And all right, ADP of 141 for Goddard. I mean, no brainer. Need a tight end. So I waited on tight end, and I get a guy who I think has a lot of upside, correlated, and stacked. I'm going to look for running back next to try and get my 4th, but the tight end is another tight end is certainly in the possibilities here. I haven't been focusing on week 17 as much. I didn't have a great advance rate. I don't know that was the reason why, but an advance rate isn't everything, but I do think it's something. And John is still dropping, likely. Guerendo's the guy I want here. Algier would be my second choice. Roshan would be my third choice. Four picks away. And you see, this is how I've been doing a lot of drafts. I get my 2 quarterbacks. Now tight end is, I've got a good tight end. I can get a second good tight end coming up. I rarely take 3. I'm mostly doing 2, 6, 8, 2. But sometimes 7 wide receivers and a third tight end. But I took a second running back a little earlier, and I got a first down running back, so I'm not stressing it as much. Guerrero went, which sucks. I've got a lot of Algier, and I think Algier makes a ton of sense here because Bijan really often goes at the 6. So to take Gibbs and then take Algier, if Bijan gets hurt, now I've got the guy who was drafted right around him and the backup. And that's kind of a sneaky little trick I like. So that's that. Now I'm going to look at tight end a little bit more. I've got some later guys that I like. So there's my cue. Fryermuth got clicked by accident. If I don't get him, I could go 3 tight ends here. See how that just moved? So there's one guy I really want to get on the team, and that is Mr. Shipley a little bit later. I'm not going to reach too much. So the one of the thought processes behind the big Hurts year with Goddard and Smith is Barkley getting hurt. Well, how do you benefit even more? Well, you benefit more if you have the backup running back. So that would make it a 4-team stack. I don't have hard. I took 1 Jaden Blue share so far. Got a decent amount of Tua, Matthew Stafford. I kind of like Tank Bigsby here too. I've been pretty big on Roshan. Where's Roshan? He has no correlations though. All right. I'm going to take Hunter Henry, who I think is a pretty good enough second tight end. I didn't get what I wanted, but that's okay. So now I'm a little behind on running back, and I'm probably not going to get someone I love coming back, but that's okay because I've got 4 that I do like. And there's some late guys I can take shots on. So 2, 4, 6, 2. Plenty of strength at quarterback. Plenty of strength at running back on the top end. Some good backups on the back end. Not great wide receivers, but good for 6. I mean, this isn't my favorite team, but the 6th spot isn't my favorite. So Shipley at 182 ADP, 174 coming up here. I mean, I'm going to bite the bullet if Shipley's there. I think Dalton Schultz gives me that Houston piece. Another kind of thing you can do to see who else might be there, type in who. And you don't get everyone, but Tank Dell, Mechie, yeah, there's really no one coming back later that's of much interest. Oh, Jalen Noel. Did Noel already go? That's early. He normally doesn't go that early. I get a lot of Jalen Noel. 6 seconds left. Mr. Shipley, come on down. All right. So now I'm 2-5-6-2. I could go tight end with Schultz here. I'm not going to take Fryermuth. Chubb is fine. Time to start looking at wide receiver again. I know I've got wide receivers in the 17th, 18th round that I like. I think I'll take Schultz here if he makes it to me. It's nice to have the week 17 correlation. I mean, Schultz isn't the most exciting guy, but you're not going to get the most exciting guy this late. But I've mostly gone 2 tight ends, but this is a little weaker than I normally get. And this could be a 5 running back team. If you've got, you're counting on Gibbs being the man, Connor's staying healthy, and one of these other 3 guys hitting. I'd like a 6th running back, but there's a chance this won't be a 6th running back team. And you can see a lot of the wide receivers that I like are gone. So I'm not taking Freiermuth. There's no correlation. I like Freiermuth, but with the Jonnu thing, it just doesn't seem like something that you need to do. I'm going to add Keenan Allen for some upside in case he plays. Ray McLeod. All right, so I'm going to take Schultz. So 2, 5, 6, 3. Definitely hitting some wide receivers coming up. Let me find some guys that I like. You see a lot of the ones that I like. I guess Mike Williams is kind of interesting with Herbert. I don't love it, and I could have taken Gadsden as the 3rd tight end. I like Gadsden a lot. I like Malik Washington. I think he is a really interesting after the trade. Adonai Mitchell is a big home run hitter. This guy Thornton. And then the other position I would consider is running back. You see I got 3 guys that I would consider there. I mean, Hunter makes a lot of sense because I've got Devontae Adams. You get the 2nd Ram. And we're coming up on my 17th pick. I haven't taken a wide receiver since pick 102. Ray McLeod, I wasn't taking any, and I was listening to the ETR pod, and they were talking about how much they ran 3 wide receiver sets. The guy's going to be out there, and we talk about these guys who aren't exciting but get points every week. I think he's a good choice here, Ray McLeod. We get the week 17 with Devontae Adams. So then I got to decide, is these 7 wide receivers strong enough? Or are it's really a toss-up. I will say that I'm not going to take Justice Hill. I don't think this team needs that. If I'm going to go running back, I'm going to go with someone with a lot of upside like Hunter or Lloyd. I'm going to take Keenan Allen out. I'm going to take Adonai Mitchell out. I want to go for some guys who have some real upside this late. I like Alec Ayamanor, Elijah Moore, Tesla Naylor. I mean, it's not a terrible team. Hurts, Herbert, Gibbs, Connor, Charbonnet, Algier, Shipley. My wide receivers are a little weaker than I would like. which is, and my tight ends are probably a little more than I like. I could have just stayed at 2 like I normally do, but the correlation pushed me over to the third tight end. I mean, does Mike Williams have anything left? He might. I've got Herbert. I like Hunter too. And I like Washington. So those are the 3 guys that I'm really focused on here. I mean, ultimately, Hunter is the guy who could really break it for me. So I'm going to put Hunter over Mike Williams and go 2-6-6, 2-6-7-3. I mean, it's not the strongest wide receiver group that I've ever had. But boy, if one of Charbonnet, Algier, Shipley, and Hunter hit, and Gibbs hits, and Connor stays healthy, this could be a really good team. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for joining me, and check out myffpc.com. Use the code DAYLIGHT and get $25 off. Have a good day, guys.